Welcome to the another part. Here now I will add the hairs in the chimpanzee so that it look like realistic creature. So because chimpanzee has hairs all across the face and the body except the front areas and the jaw. So I'm going to simply create some hairs. For that I will select the areas where I want to add the hairs, and for now I will just turn off this so that I can see now. So first I want to mask these areas where the hairs to be added. And I have made a selection, so I will go to the fiber mesh panel and click on the preview. So basically when you click on the preview, it just shows you the existing fibers coming out of it. How does it look like? I'm going to click on the modifier so that I can adjust the maximum fibers and the length profile. So you can see the length. I don't want to keep that much of length, so I will reduce the length of hairs. I'm just zooming in and to see should that be the enough. I think we should increase a length to let's say 120. Yeah, that is better. Maximum fiber I'm going to increase, so this creature should look more dense. I'm just going to take one render so to see that how the hairs are looking like. So it takes some time, so be very patient about that. So this gives an idea that how your actual hairs will look like. And for some reason I think we can increase the hair's length a bit more, and for that I think the hairs should also come here. This area should also be covered. I'm going to click on the preview. Will increase the length. You can also open the existing presets that being provided by Zbrush. So when you click on this here, so you can click on the light box and the fiber. So there are some presets, you can just check it out. Right, so for our chimpanzee nothing could match, that's why I just did not check it. So I'm making some more changes, like length I have set, and skull tip is fine. Gravity profile, the gravity profile means how the hairs will be affected with the gravity. So you can notice that the hair's movement is coming from top to bottom, they are moving across the line, and that's what exactly I'm talking about. I think we just missed this part. Let's check. Let's increase the hair's length a bit. Okay, then what actually coverage does is decrease the width of the fiber. So right now if you see, when you just click on render, so when you render it will show that actually how thick your hair strands would be. So I'm waiting it to be just rendered. I want to see one preview. And yeah, I think here thickness looks better, looks okay. So I think we can continue with this. I forgot to mask this area, so that's why I'm just checking out again and again. I don't want to miss any section just because of this. Click on the preview and the whole section will work. And when I'm satisfied, I will click on accept. Right, you can also save these settings as a new preset. So I can say like here's chimpanzee. And so that you can actually access it from anywhere. I will click on accept. So it just what it asks that to activate the fast preview mode. So what actually happens in fast preview mode, the hair quality looks a bit low, but it actually improves your software performance. So that's why I'm clicking it on yes. Now you can see a little guy is already there. Now there are some brushes that actually helps to groom the chimpanzee. So basically we can actually change the direction of the hairs, we can just modify them. just like we usually groom ourselves. So we'll continue to do that. We'll click on the groom brushes. These are the groom brushes. So we'll click on groom brush, turning on the symmetry so that I can reduce the amount of work I need to do. I'm just making some random strokes so that his hair looks a bit messed up. Alright, we can also increase the hair length. So basically, if you go and see here, this can actually create the spike, and this can actually increase the length. So when I click, I can actually simply increase the length of the hairs. So this comes handy when you want to increase hair length and you don't have to select again and create another hairs. One more thing is, there is another brush, groom strong. So what actually it does, when you click on the groom strong, it just make a strong stroke, so it just aligns all the hairs in one direction, just like you comb it. So here we do not need it. Okay, I'm just creating some clumps. I'm just adding these irregularities, adding some clumps, adding some details. I'm just checking out the references that we have. So you can see these have very strong hairs or big hairs coming out, and that following the body flow. So I will follow the same way. I will just use groom brush, and then we'll start actually modifying them so that they look to be following one shape, following in one direction. They should be moving on one direction. You can see this actually creates a natural flow, and you can easily get an idea that okay, from here these hairs are going, and the effect of gravity. So while adding the sub irregularities, I'm also trying to maintain the flow of the hairs, that from where they are originating and where they are leading to. Alright, you can see that there are some more hairs on the jaw side, lip side. So I'm going to create few more hairs where smaller than that will add on the face. Face is not completely clear with the hairs. So in this area the hairs are white and with the light colors. So that's what I'm going to put. We'll select the model and we'll add a selection. And I think this should be good. We'll go to the fiber panel again and we'll click on preview, and you can see now I want to reduce the max fiber. I'm just reducing the number of fibers. I think preview. Let's do the preview again. Okay. I think this should follow this whole jawline. Now one more time, preview. Okay, this looks better. So now you can see these hairs are smaller, so I have made them coverage is good, gravity profile is good, and I will click on accept, right? So these hairs are white as compared to the other body hairs. In most cases these are white. So I'll pick an off-white color and will add to the hairs. Let's press X. And then select these other brushes on the fibers and fill with the color. So mostly the hairs are black and brownish, so I think this color should work very well. I think they are still reddish. I will increase. Now these are good. So what I'm going to do, I will just click on the color and click on fill object. So it will fill the hairs. You can see actually I just don't want it to be with any color, so I'm putting a neutral color. Click on again fill object, and this should be working now. Here I think the hairs are quite large, so just like you can increase the hair length, you can also decrease the hair length. Groom hair short. So wherever I will groom it, it will just reduce the length. I think this grooming has become quite strong, so I will leave it to its original setting. I think this is there is no harm if we keep it as they are. This looks better. And now third time I will select the head. First I need to save these. Chimpanzee with, I'm just naming it. So it takes some time to render. So because now polygons have been increased, we have a total 11.5 million polygons because of hairs and face details. So it just saves all the undo history of all the subtools. That's why it takes some time. Now, as you can notice with the example, this also has some hairs on the ear and on the face, on the here side. So this time I will select this area, this, and we'll see if there is any other hair. I think that's fine. Now I'll add one more time here. These will be a bit longer. click on preview. I'm just checking out the preview. This time I want to increase the length. So you'll have to again check and play with the settings. One more time. And these hairs will have no gravity profile, so I'm not going to just increase it. I'll just reduce the gravity profile. So they are more like, we'll be twisting them more. I have increased the length, and I think I will decrease the maximum fibers. Should we increase the length a bit more? Maybe? Yeah, I think that's better. We'll click on accept. And now what will happen then, we'll rename these. So I will rename these hairs to eyebrow. I'm also naming the color. This is rename mouth gray, and this I will rename body brown. Okay, I will just reorganizing the tools. It's skull, it's a chimpanzee here, so name it so that all subtools are on the right order. Now these hairs, so basically if you can see on the references, these are quite light brown color, so I'll give them a light brown color. So my Zbrush is in auto save mode, so that I can actually save all the time my work. I will click on the brown color, that's a bit reddish and bit brownish, and we'll click on the fill object. Okay, I think this looks a bit too much. So let's go on this direction. Color, fill object, I will change this color to again brown, dark brown, so that, and now this time I will fill this dark color first, fill object, and then we'll paint the details separately. You can check, I'm just adding the details. Just changing the color wherever it is required, not changing the colors all across at once. So the purpose for this is I want to keep the tip with light color and the root with the same dark brown color that other hairs are. So that is the main reason for doing all this exercise. Here also you can see that I can select any color I want. And I'm just trying to avoid it. Now let's take one render. You have to be very patient about when it's rendering. And ta-da! We are actually done with the character. Congratulations. There are a few more things I would like to add. So we'll do one thing. We'll create the render passes from here, and then we'll do some compositing in the Photoshop. There are some finishing touch I want to add. So I'm just going to add some colors actually. So I think I'm going to use this one. Click on RGB and yeah, this should work. So the purpose for this is I actually want to highlight these wrinkles. So that we retain the look and the details we have just added. Here just like so what this actually defines the wrinkles. I think here wrinkles. I'm reducing the RGB intensity so I don't overdo things. So I'm doing manually. You can also create the mask for this. So a specific mask you can create and then fill them with colors. That also works. The point is I'm more confident and comfortable with this manual approach. and we'll do the same in reverse direction. I will just, let's break the symmetry. Okay, now as we are done with this, first I'm going to save these. I'm going to save this file and then we'll export the render process. So next section will be on the rendering, how we can actually do the rendering. I'll see you in the next video. Let me take a one BPR render. So you can see by using simple methods you can use and create any creature, and this looks good. So that's it. We are going to talk more about exporting the render passes in the next video. We'll see you in the next video.